What's up, everyone? Welcome to True Food Reviews. I'm Mark.
I'm Nick.
And today we're looking at the papaya. Is it supposed to be green? Don't know.
Maybe.
Here are some fun facts for those of you who may not know. The papaya is classified as a berry.
It's a big berry.
It's a big berry. Papaya plants look like trees, but they're actually
Ferns?
giant herbs. We were looking for giant herbs. A small papaya contains roughly 300% of the daily recommended amount of vitamin C.
So way too much.
We are about to, and this is, I think that might be a big papaya. Actually, you know
hope
what?
So.
I don't know. Maybe it's very small.
Maybe it's the smallest one on record.
But I respect it either way. Unripe green papaya fruit. Oh. And leaves of the papaya tree contain an enzyme called papain. It has been used as a meat tenderizer, and that same tenderizing property can be used to treat herniated discs. Harrison Ford received papain injections after rupturing a disc on the set of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Wow.
And get this, papaya seeds have demonstrated contraceptive effects in male monkeys.
Okay.
So, I think this papaya may not be ripe because it's green, but hey, that, I don't... Can you hear that?
It's got a little wiggle.
There's a rattling inside there, which I think might be the seeds.
Let's get that True Food
We'll get out
Reviews
the True
knife
Food
out.
Reviews official knife. Now, this may look like a gourd, but I don't know what we're dealing with on the inside here. This might be Juice City, and I do not want to be the mayor of that. So I've got my True Food Reviews official towel on my lap, and I also have some True Food Reviews official plain brown napkins on standby. The skin looks thick. Why don't you just talk a bit about what you're expecting from this experience while I try to get into this carefully. I think I need to go vertically.
Yeah. I think it's going to have to be surgical. My main experience with papaya is actually a restaurant called the Green Papaya, where I've never eaten papayas.
You know, they call it a green papaya, the restaurant the Green Papaya, which means it can't be that bad.
Yeah, no.
If you called a restaurant the Brown Banana, people would go, ew, why would you call it that?
That seems like you're getting into that
It's incredibly easy to cut through it.
very soft.
Look at this. I don't know if they can see this at home, but the knife just glides through it like butter.
To be fair, it's important for people at home to know that the True Food Reviews official knife is a top-notch piece of equipment. But even still, this is quite easy for Mark
It's
to get
quite
through.
impressive, which makes me think this is going to be very tender, very juicy, and just overall a very enjoyable experience. All right, it's time for the big reveal.
That is not what I was expecting.
Interesting. All right, take your half. Maybe wipe it off a little
Looks like a game of Mancala gone wrong in here.
bit. For those who don't know, Mancala is an African game played with small stones. So here's what the inside of the papaya looks like. There is a lot of seeds in there. And the actual inside part is sort of a pinkish orange, a salmon color almost.
It smells really bad.
I wouldn't say really bad, but it smells...
I do not like that smell at all. I'm presuming that's the seeds, so I think I'm going to work around the outside
Why don't we
first.
start with the fleshy part, and then we'll get into the seeds. Remember, worst case scenario, this is an unripe papaya versus a rotten one.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
The outside tastes quite good. But there's something about the texture that bothers me. There's almost like a chewiness to the flesh.
It is the texture, it's like a very soft cantaloupe. It is kind of like a melon, for those of you at home, even though this is a berry.
Yeah, it definitely melons are the first things that come to mind.
One thing I find really interesting is that there's two types of seeds in here.
No.
There's the little tiny white ones, and there's these big brown ones. But the brown ones are actually just, they're not attached to anything. So when this plant grows, I don't know how they form. If they just kind of materialize and are floating around. They're also soft. I don't know if you poked one. It's actually kind of squishy. It's not like a hard little pit there. Well, I have a big whack of seeds in here. I think after a few more bites of the flesh, I'd like to get into the seeds.
I'm not really enjoying this.
It's not very sweet, I can tell you that much.
There's not much sweetness. It doesn't have the same crisp texture as a melon. It has the same mild flavor without the texture. It's watery, but in a strange way without being very refreshing.
I was going to say, you simply cannot deny the juiciness of it.
No.
You simply cannot deny it.
I cannot deny it. And then the side part, like the internal part, looks very sketchy to me.
That seems like something you may cut out. Kind of like, yeah, you can see the side of it actually scrapes off. It's like it's a goopiness to it, which I think you probably don't eat that conventionally, but I'll get a little bit in there.
Yep, you could definitely scrape that off, which I think does improve matters a little bit, because everything I've been eating has had a little bit of siding of that questionable thing.
Well, would you like to try the seeds with me?
I don't know if I'd like to, but I think I'm kind of duty bound.
Yeah, so I gotta get a full spoonful there, caviar
okay,
style.
that's aggressive. But I guess I'll do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think it's only fair. That's a lot less than I have, so I'll pour a few off.
Does that feel about right?
That feels about right.
All right,
cheers. It tastes like pepper, like peppercorns, like table pepper, right? Like the pepper you put on a vegetable.
It tastes terrible.
But it tastes like pepper, right?
Yeah, definitely. It has almost a weird spiciness to it.
It's very unpleasant.
But no, I like a good spicy. This is a bad spicy. For me, I'm still having the same issue as I had with cabbage, which was the flavor itself is inoffensive, but I'm having a lot of trouble with the smell, and that's kind of seeping into the flavor.
It smells not entirely unlike a negative experience I had with a mango on a previous episode.
It smells like a shoe.
It's kind of got that leathery, wet coat smell, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure this is the best papaya that money can buy.
No. Now, one last thing I think we should try a bit of the skin, because the green papaya skin has that meat tenderizing quality. So I certainly know that if there's any amount of papain in there, that could really help with any herniated discs you have.
If it's good enough for Harrison, I guess it's good enough for me.
Well, if it's good enough for Harrison Ford's spine, then it must be delicious. You don't really taste much of it beyond the...
It's nothing. Like, there's nothing really to that.
No. A little bit bitter. I don't think the skin is conventionally eaten.
I'd rather eat the skin than the seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a lot of different things going on here. I think that the loose seeds I find very interesting. And then there's the nasty, pulpy orange side, and then there's the pink, fleshy, juicy part. And then there's the tiny white seeds, and then there's the green skin that's good for your back.
This is like, for me, it's a really haphazard product. It's like someone came up with a bunch of different features, and they didn't really know how to integrate them, and they kind of just threw everything at the wall to see what stuck. And for me, it needs more cohesion than it has.
It's likely that they were pressed for time, and as opposed to designing a melon or a gourd or a pepper plant, they decided to bundle them all together. And if you have a wireless internet provider or anything like that, you know that bundling is not something that consumers are really latching onto. That I don't need this feature to give me the best experience with the pink fleshy part.
Like, if it had been just pink fleshy part and nothing else, no odd smells, no peppercorn, then they might have been onto something. Yeah. But it's for me, it's an ill-conceived mess.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm gonna give it like a C-. Like, I really did not enjoy this from start to finish. I understand that it has some redeeming qualities in theory, but I think when you throw it all together, there's nothing about this would make me want to recommend someone else buy it.
I was going to give it a D+, but I realize now that's pretty harsh. Seeing as the interesting thing is that you may not like any of the individual components, but if you do like one of the elements of this, then it's so different from the other components that you could be like, oh, the flesh is a B and the seeds are a D.
Yeah.
For me, I don't like any of the components. So
Yeah.
maybe it's not fair of me to give it a D+. I think I'm also going to give it a C-. That kind of works well with me. Because I would give the fleshy part, at best, a C+. It's watery, there's not much to it. But the seeds are really bad, and I didn't enjoy those at all. And then,
Everything that's orange is terrible.
like you said, these are bundled features, and the overall experience, therefore, I would have to give it nothing more than a C-.
All right, so Papaya-YAS would definitely not recommend. As we've gone through, it's an ill-conceived project, very haphazard, and really, I don't really know who the target market is for this, and I don't know if I want to meet them. So that's all. True Food Reviews. Do not buy Papaya-YAS unless you are very experimental with your fruits.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll like, subscribe, retweet, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Bumble, Tinder.
Print off flyers.
Yeah, anything that is a form of communication. Hopefully you'll communicate about us to everyone you know every day. And we'll see you next time.
All right. I'm just going to do
Cheers.
maybe all seeds on this one.
Oh, that's, I would never do that again. Okay, I want to be away from it. Maybe. No.